Hello Moto GP enthusiasts. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Gigi Dall'Igna offered a measured read of Ducati's Austin weekend, mixed results, clear positives and a set of issues that demand focused work. While Marc Márquez's physical condition and a sprint penalty limited the team, Giannantonio's form and Bagnaia's early pace provided encouraging signs. Dall'Igna framed Austin as a diagnostic weekend, one that highlights where Ducati must act. Marc Márquez delivered a clear, measured verdict after the United States Grand Prix. Austin exposed limits he and Ducati must address. Between a sprint crash that brought a long lap penalty, lingering physical effects from last year's injury, and Aprilia's current form, Marquez accepted that victory was out of reach and framed the weekend as a diagnostic moment ahead of Jerez. Dorna sporting director Carlos Ezpeleta offered a calm, pragmatic read on the fallout from the Brazilian GP and the broader operational challenges of running a global championship. His comments ranged from track safety and emergency repairs to logistics, commercial agreements and the early moving 2027 market, all delivered with an emphasis on process and collective responsibility. VR46 has signaled clear interest in Fermin Aldeguer for 2027, a move that would reshuffle Ducati-linked satellite seats and put Franco Morbidelli's future at the team in doubt. Team director Alessio Salucci praised Aldeguer's talent at Coda while reaffirming Fabio Di Giannantonio's place in the squad, setting the scene for a busy transfer market ahead of next season. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Ducati returned to stronger single-lap form in Austin, with Di on pole and Bagnaia and Marquez starting from competitive positions. The sprint incident and subsequent long-lap penalty for Marquez reshaped the feature race, while Aprilia's continued rise set a higher benchmark for the factory. The weekend combined flashes of Ducati's potential with reminders that rivals have closed the gap. The result is a clear to-do list rather than panic. Dall'Igna acknowledged that Marquez was not at full fitness after Friday's crash, and that the sprint mistake carried a heavy cost. Despite that, Marquez displayed resilience, climbing back to fifth and giving everything on track. The engineer stressed both the physical limitation and the rider's fighting spirit. Marc wasn't at 100%. He showed tenacity and determination. The combination of injury recovery and a penalized weekend explains much of the performance shortfall. Protecting and supporting Marquez remains a priority. Bagnaia produced a strong first half of the race and led for a significant period before a late drop in performance cost him positions. Giannantonio emerged as the weekend's standout for Ducati, converting pace into a solid fourth and proving maturity and consistency. Dall'Igna praised both riders while noting the need to turn single-lap speed into sustainable race results. Gigi's weekend is a morale boost. Bagnaia's pace confirms potential but also highlights the tire and balance issues that must be solved. Dall'Igna was candid that the team must analyze the weekend carefully. The symptoms, strong qualifying speed but late race degradation and handling uncertainty, point to setup, chassis and tire interaction as priority areas. The message was clear: diagnose precisely, test solutions, and bring validated updates to the European rounds. Ducati's engineering depth gives them options, but translating fixes into consistent race performance will require disciplined testing and rider feedback. Dall'Igna closed on an optimistic, action-oriented note. Austin is a wake-up call but also a motivator. The team must work hard to restore winning form, using the break before Jerez to regroup and refine the package. Confidence remains that with focused effort Ducati can respond to Aprilia's challenge. The tone is constructive: acknowledge weaknesses, back the riders, and accelerate development, a pragmatic path back to the front. Dall'Igna's assessment balances realism with resolve. Austin exposed vulnerabilities but also confirmed that Ducati still has the ingredients to fight. The coming weeks will test whether the factory can convert diagnosis into effective updates and return its riders to the consistent race performance the team expects. The sprint incident forced Marquez to serve a long lap early in the feature race, the most damaging moment to lose time. He explained that serving the penalty in the opening laps, when overtaking is hardest, effectively removed any realistic shot at the podium fight and made recovery a matter of damage limitation. Serving the penalty early is the worst time. It costs track position and momentum. A long lap is more than seconds lost. It disrupts tire windows and race rhythm, especially for a rider still rebuilding race start sharpness. Marquez admitted his right arm was swollen after Friday's crash, limiting his ability to push in the opening laps. He stressed that while his late race pace often returns, the first laps remain the hardest physically and technically, and that 3 weeks until Jerez will be used to recover and refine his feel. When a rider's body is compromised, the margin for error shrinks. Marquez's honesty about recovery reframes expectations and priorities. Marquez acknowledged Aprilia's clear step forward. He noted that while Ducati can be competitive on Saturdays, Aprilia's Sunday consistency, pace that doesn't destroy tires, is the current differentiator. Bezzecchi's run of form, in particular, marks him as a benchmark this season. Bezzecchi is in incredible form. Right now, he's unstoppable. The contrast between qualifying and race performance across manufacturers highlights tire management and chassis balance as decisive factors. Given the penalty and physical limits, Marquez focused on a pragmatic race, recover positions, protect the bike and tires, and extract the best possible result. He judged that without the penalty a podium fight was plausible, but even then a win would have been unlikely given Aprilia's pace. Tactical realism can salvage championship points. Marquez's approach prioritized consistency over heroics in a compromised weekend. With a 3-week break before Jerez, Marquez plans targeted recovery and work on the opening lap problem. He remains confident that when his physical condition and setup align, his late race speed will translate into stronger overall results. The coming European rounds will test whether Ducati can close the Sunday gap and whether Marquez can regain his early race edge. Austin was a snapshot, not a season verdict. The next test will show whether this weekend was an anomaly or the start of a deeper trend. Marquez's assessment was candid and constructive. Austin exposed limits, but also clarified priorities. Recover physically, sharpen the opening laps, and help Ducati close the Sunday performance gap. He didn't make excuses, he set a plan. The paddock will watch Jerez to see if that plan turns realism into results. Ezpeleta framed the cracked asphalt episode in Brazil as a localized failure that exposed vulnerabilities in circuit preparation and extreme weather resilience. He stressed that track homologation and repairs fall to the promoter and FIM, but praised the rapid on-site fix as an impressive emergency response. The incident, he said, will prompt a careful review to ensure the circuit is ready next year. The repair in 2 or 3 hours with a cement plant is truly an incredible response. The episode underlined that even well-run events can face unexpected infrastructure failures and that contingency planning is essential. Beyond the surface drama, Ezpeleta highlighted the less visible pressures of staging a Grand Prix: equipment arrival, timing systems, TV coverage and redundancy plans. Delays in freight to Brazil compressed safety margins and created cascading operational stress, reinforcing the need for robust logistics and earlier contingency checks. Operational reliability is as decisive as on-track performance. A single failure can ripple across the entire event. On the commercial front, Ezpeleta addressed the rider and factory market with a mix of surprise and realism. He found it odd when signed contracts remain unannounced, and confirmed that agreements with factories and teams are close to finalization. He framed the current market as driven by marquee names who force early moves, and urged all parties to support Moto GP's planned growth. We have to sign the agreement with the factories and the teams, and I think we are very, very close to doing so. Early contract activity reflects confidence in Moto GP's commercial trajectory but also increases the premium on clear communication. Ezpeleta emphasized that track safety and event readiness are shared responsibilities among promoters, the FIM and Dorna. He avoided assigning blame publicly but insisted on follow-up actions and tests to prevent recurrence. The message was procedural: identify root causes, validate repairs, and tighten operational checks for future events. The tone balanced accountability with a pragmatic focus on fixes rather than finger-pointing. Ezpeleta closed by underlining MotoGP's growth ambitions and the need for all stakeholders to back that expansion responsibly. He welcomed interest from new partners while stressing the importance of infrastructure, logistics, and contractual clarity to sustain the sport's momentum. The Brazilian episode will be a case study in how to scale without sacrificing safety or reliability. Growth requires both opportunity and discipline. Ezpeleta's remarks were a call to pair ambition with operational rigor. Ezpeleta's assessment was steady and managerial: celebrate MotoGP's appeal, but treat the Brazil incident as a prompt to tighten standards. The immediate priorities are to finalize agreements, reinforce logistics, and ensure circuits meet the sport's exacting safety expectations. If those boxes are ticked, the championship can continue expanding with confidence. Sallucci described Aldeguer as a fantastic rider, confirming VR46's interest without closing the door on negotiations. Aldeguer's race-winning rookie season and rapid rise through the Ducati ladder make him an attractive target for a team that wants young, high-upside talent alongside established names. Public interest from VR46 increases pressure on Gresini and Ducati to clarify Aldeguer's path, and accelerates the market chatter around 2027. The potential signing would likely come at the expense of Franco Morbidelli, whose results this year have lagged behind expectations. Sallucci's comment that Giannantonio has never been in question implicitly places Morbidelli in the most vulnerable seat if VR46 pursues Aldeguer. Morbidelli's experience and past podium form give him options, but a move would depend on offers from other satellite teams or a reshuffle within Ducati's ecosystem. VR46 made clear that Fabio Di Giannantonio remains a priority. Renewal talks are expected soon. Keeping Di Gia would preserve continuity and reward a rider who has already delivered poles and podiums this season while allowing the team to pair proven pace with potential youth. A Di Gia Aldeguer pairing would blend immediate competitiveness with long-term upside, a classic satellite team formula. The move ties into broader market shifts. Alex Marquez is tipped for KTM, Pedro Acosta is linked to an official Ducati seat, and Gresini may rebuild around Enea Bastianini and Moto2 talent Danny Holgado. Each domino effects where riders like Morbidelli and Aldeguer can land. The 2027 market is already being shaped by marquee names. Teams that act early can secure strategic advantages. For VR46, signing Aldeguer would be a statement of intent: invest in a young star while protecting a proven performer in Di Gia. For Aldeguer, the move would offer factory-spec machinery and a high-profile platform. For Morbidelli, the coming weeks will be decisive as offers and team strategies crystallize. Expect rapid developments as teams finalize contracts. Early announcements will shape the rest of the market. VR46's public interest in Fermin Aldeguer tightens an already active transfer window. The likely consequences: a reshuffled satellite grid, pressure on Franco Morbidelli, and strategic responses from Gresini and Ducati make this one of the season's most consequential off-track stories. The next announcements will reveal whether VR46 moves decisively or keeps options open while the market continues to evolve. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!